Hello, I'm Slow Bullet,
Here with Matthew Drat.
and we're here with
Kirby.
yes. Kirby is here with an awesome script that he can plan into CE. Now, can you tell us more about this awesome script?
Well, I actually have multiple different scripts out there. One, I'm making AI capture the flag that's more of a complete map, just because there is also all the tags that go with it and everything. So you have all your general capture the flag settings or whatever. But when you pick your red or your blue team, you can either be humans or Covenant, and every time you spawn, you get to pick of one of three characters you'd like to be. You'll have, if you're a Covenant, you can pick an elite for high mobility, jumping around high and stuff, a Jackal for defense, Grunt for foot soldier stuff and fuel rods. Over at the humans, you have your armored marine that can use his explosives, an armored marine that's a bit faster and can't use explosives, or Captain Keys, who is very fast but he can't really use much because he's an old man. So other things, updates, some of the boost stuff that you've seen on YouTube before. So now it'll automatically detect the vehicles and stuff. There's no setup in the script or anything if you're using default Halo vehicles. You just compile the script with any map. You'll be able to walk up to a vehicle. The scripts will figure everything out and you'll be able to boost. Some of the other things, working on the sword lunge, most of the stuff set up. It's more of a little gimmicky fun thing to do at the moment. Haven't done the activation that much yet, but it's something to goof around with.
So this will all sync in multiplayer, correct?
The
Or is
boosting,
this single player?
well, the AI capture the flag, that is a single player thing.
Yeah.
It's for playing again. The boosting,
Okay.
well, the very ideas behind it, velocity, those aren't exactly good things for multiplayer, but the reason why that would normally be quite bad would because you're actually using object names, but here you aren't even using the object names. It won't be perfect, but it'll be better than some other things that could be done. I was actually playing it online with some people the other day, and it worked fairly well.
So what else do you have besides just that?
I do have a thing where you can walk on moving vehicles and stuff, but it's a more effort than it's worth in general. At first I tried to do it by math and stuff. That one looked pretty bad, but it was math. It's the good stuff. And then I just went with a lazy sort of thing that looks good, but it's just yeah.
So are you saying every Halo 3 fanboy's dream and CE can finally come true where they can walk around on an elephant without getting crushed whenever it goes 1 mile per hour?
You could do that, but well, with what I'm currently doing, that won't work well in multiplayer. It'll look all laggy and everything, and the setup, it's really more effort than it's worth.
True. No one likes laggy stuff in CE. But yet, that's what CE is mostly compiled of, laggy stuff. So, what else is there? Is this just all you have, or
Well,
do you like...
the generic Pelicans picking stuff up, they'll back originally people using trigger volumes and stuff to check where things are. You could also use AI if you want to do it portably. Now I've just done it with the OS stuff, so you can check how far away it is from your Pelican and pick it up and set it up in a nice little script template thing for a scripting program I made, which I guess I'll sit here and advertise right now. This program, it can use these little template things. These templates have comments in there for filling information in. So then this template will load up into this program. It'll ask the user a few questions, like how many times you want to loop something, what naming scheme you want to use, what you want to name specific things, and it'll just fill out the entire script for your user for whatever preferences you add in, and just toss in your scenario and go.
Now, it sounds like you learned a lot about scripting. Like, is there anyone that you really learned it from, or did you just sit down and figure it out all by yourself?
For the most part, I just went right ahead because it's logic based. It's not really that hard.
That's why I failed at it, probably.
Yeah.
Did you already mention the wall jumping?
Haven't talked about the wall jumping yet. It's a fun
Pay
little thing.
attention, Drat.
Just toss 2 trigger volumes on some walls. It'll calculate your velocity and stuff. If you hit, you have to be moving towards the wall when you hit jump. It'll bounce you back the other direction. And it's just fun bouncing around and stuff.
Does that work well on multiplayer?
It goes by the jump button, so at the moment there isn't really anything that can be done. Because let's go over the scripting part of it. There's player action tests in scripts. It checks if any player has pressed a button. This checks if anyone has pressed a jump button, so that wouldn't really work in multiplayer. But there should be some stuff that can be done for that, where you use animations and stuff instead to perform the script checks.
Sounds like too much work for me.
While we're going on about animations to doing things, a while ago I put on YouTube a video of Plasma Pistol. Whenever you charge up, it'll drain from the battery. I updated that. That's in a test map that's going to be released after the show. That now it'll just use an animation to detect everything properly rather than other things. Unfortunately, the commands used in that open source, it directly prevents those from running in a multiplayer game. So that unfortunately won't be able to run online.
So, most of your stuff that you have here is just single player based, as I can tell, right?
Some of it's single player, some of it works fine for multiplayer. The pickup vehicles, that would be fine in multiplayer. Multi-turrets, just toss a billion turrets on any vehicle, that would work fine in multiplayer. When I finish the sword lunge, it should work fine in multiplayer. I'm going to be doing the animation setup on it to trigger it, because right now it's just using one of the player action tests. And yeah, after that, set up with animations to trigger it. That should work pretty well in multiplayer. It'll actually work better in multiplayer than single player, because you have to directly put in who you want your targets to be, so listing 16 players is better than trying to have the person set up for all their different encounters in their map.
Also, another is I've noticed that you've mentioned open source. Now, do you I know that there's like a huge debate war going on right now. Open source sucks. Open source is awesome. What is your opinion on it, and how has it helped scripting?
Well, it makes it easier to detect items around in general. There's this great command that was introduced in Halo 2, objects distance to object. It'll return the world units between 2 objects that you list. So using that, you can see how far things are and stuff. So same as trigger volumes, just a spherical trigger volume around any item you want. You can have some random rock that acts like a trigger volume. And there's the velocity stuff that's good for things like the boosting, the wall jump. Ways of moving items around without the objects attached. If you want to set an item to an exact location, you can do that now, although the turning part doesn't really work. The turning part will deform whatever item you're turning. Not really the most useful.
So, you mentioned that you're releasing some stuff after the show. What exactly is in the release?
So it'll have the boosting, it'll have the pickup vehicles, the sword lunge, wall jump, the multi-turret, the plasma pistol charge, and my old vehicle EMP stuff that I put a YouTube video of that up before. I don't actually think I've changed anything since that video.
So no AI capture the flag?
It's mostly done, but they sort of don't like going back to their base after they capture the flags, and I haven't put any of the announcer stuff in yet. It's more of the functionality that's being worked on right now. It's mostly functional. They just need to make them smarter about taking the flag back instead of trying to attack with the flag.
No, the thing I cannot wait for is actually that one, the Covenant versus Spartan capture the flag. I know it's only single player, even though I'm more of a multiplayer guy. Drat here is single player. I bet he's having a mangasm right now. But, but still, that's one I want to see. That one sounds pretty cool. But now, does anyone else help you at all, or is it just you're the one-man Lone Ranger kind of guy?
Well, sometimes I'll look if somebody wants to continue on, because I'll openly admit, I'm a very lazy person. If I don't have people there to try and hound on me about doing things, I probably won't really continue. Like, if people show no interest, why should I bother? So, I'll try and work with people, but usually those things die.
Yeah. So I remember, was it you that did the forge with open source or not?
Yeah, I did that.
I would love it if you like did that in like all the stock maps. I'm just saying, you know. I would love it.
For the scripting app I mentioned earlier, I made a little template file for that, so it should be fairly easy for people to set up for their maps.
Except for bullets. I can't. I can't do it. I tried. I tried. I'm gonna tell us. I tried scripting one time, and this is what I did. Yeah, too lazy. Let's go back to YouTube. That is exactly what I did. I've tried all the stuff in C, but honestly, that's why I made CE3, was just because I like seeing what all you guys can do. You guys make all this stuff, like all this scripting. That's what I actually like seeing in maps. It's just like I just kind of am. I need someone like this. I need someone to explain how a map is made, so then I can like appreciate it more. And seeing this and hearing what you do with all this scripting and how it's implanted into the maps and stuff, and how things generically happen, how things happen, and all that.
Having an animation trigger scripts.
Yes, that
makes my scripting feel lazy.
So I'm guessing you don't really have anyone to thank or anything like that, since you're one man.
Special
kind of
shoutouts.
Yeah. Any?
Oh.
No.
My cat.
There we go. Your cat. What's your cat's name?
Shirayuki.
I cannot pronounce that, so I'm just gonna go Mr. Kitty Cat or Mr. Fluffy. There we go, Mr. Fluffykins. Out there. I'm not even going to try pronouncing that. I cannot pronounce Japanese names at all. Also, since your cat's name is Japanese and your X-Fire's name is Japanese, are you really a ninja?
Sure, why not?
Heck yeah, I'm friends with a ninja. This has been Slow Bullet.
Matthew Drat.
And
Kirby.
we're going on with the rest of the show.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. Best interview ending ever.